Hello everybody, Tahoe Yak Fisher here. We are in the backyard because I am very excited to show off my new battery and how it went into the kayak. Now, when I left off, we had the back half of the wiring system in place. So that went from this plug right here, this back plug. It goes back to the hatch lid there for the motor to plug into, and we have the same plug going forward to the battery. And I want to show you how the battery is going to go in the kayak. It's kept in a really cool way. So here we go inside. Now, I started with just a standard Group 27 battery tray. I took a piece of bungee cord and tied a pool noodle with a piece of PVC pipe in it to both sides of the tray. So the pool noodle is what locates the battery from side to side. Now the battery came with this, the battery tray came with this 1-inch webbing strap and buckle. And it's a pretty nice one, tubular webbing. That's the company. And what I did with that is I used a footman loop. Now, if we take a look here, you see that stainless steel bar connects the webbing to the kayak. So that is what makes it so the battery can't move fore and aft. So very simple, very lightweight, and the battery cannot go anywhere. Now, as far as the wiring goes, something kind of cool here. I took a thin piece of cutting board. I actually robbed it from our car camping kit, so I'm gonna have to put that back, and I mounted it to the kayak, and I used the one screw from the pedal track, and I added a second. So that front hole here I had to drill in the kayak in order to attach this plate. Now, down on the bottom there is a V-Links, also from VMax tanks, manual reset 50 amp circuit breaker. And then I got a bus bar for the negative up there on top. And the reason I wanted to do it like this is because I have other stuff besides just the motor to connect to this battery, and I didn't want a whole bunch of wires flopping around in there. So everything I need to connect, I can use this kind of pseudo circuit panel here and connect, and then VMax makes custom cables, and so they made me these cables for the application. And now let's go get the battery and see how it all goes together. Oh buddy, look at that. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is just unclip the buckle there. And look at the buckle very nicely, just kind of flips over the top right there. And then we can take our very nice and lightweight battery, drop it in there, and then shift it all the way back until it hits the wall of the kayak. And then the buckle is going to go over the front, obviously, and we're going to buckle it up. So let me buckle it up. Okay, we're buckled up. Now, interestingly enough, the pool noodle gives it just enough kind of stretch or sponge to it that you can get this nice and tight. Okay, so it's not going anywhere. It can't move forward, it can't move backward because of the footman loop bolted to the kayak here. And it can't move side to side because of the pool noodle that is attached to the battery tray. So the only holes I had to drill were up high, and a very simple, lightweight, and effective way to keep the battery right where I want it. Okay, let me hook the cables up for the final showing here. All right, you guys, check this out. So VMax made me the cables. They made them custom length. They're exactly long enough to do the job. The nice thing is the positive wouldn't even reach the other side, so hooking them up reversed is basically impossible. The battery can't move in there. These cables, by the way, let me just talk about them. They are silicone, they're 4 gauge, they're way overbuilt for this application, but they're very durable, custom made, and fit the exact length I wanted. So no resistance between the battery and my wiring harness here. So, and durable enough to disconnect, flip around, that sort of thing. Okay, now the battery itself. I'm pretty excited about the battery itself. It was $750. That's expensive, but when you look at the numbers of what it costs to use it over its lifespan, it is a lot more cost effective than AGM or lead acid. And I'm not going to go into that on this video. We may talk more about that later on. My big goal was to go faster, and to do that I needed a bigger motor, and to have a bigger motor I felt like I needed a bigger battery. So this is a 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate, and if you look at the run numbers, they are pretty comparable to the Torqeedo 910 watt hour battery. Now this one's actually rated at 1280 watt hours, but you know how they compare directly I can't say, because the Torqeedo motor is not a 12 volt motor, and this is a 12 volt system. So just comparing the run times are going to be very similar to Torqeedo's 910 watt hour battery. Now that being said, the kayak project, you guys, I did the math. I have, including buying the kayak, the motor, the battery, all of the hardware, including the spool of rope for the steering, the stuff I needed to make the steering arm at the motor, everything, tax and shipping included. I have about $2,660 invested in this kayak. Now, the Torqeedo kit with the 910 watt hour battery that I just compared it to, just the motor kit is $2,300. Now, it's GPS and it does all kinds of things that this is not going to do. But you know what? The fish finder has a GPS, and I'm going to be able to make do, and I spent a lot less money. Now that's one comparison. I think that this would also be a great boat to compare to the Old Town Autopilot. Now this is a very similar kayak, and set up the way it is, it's not going to have autopilot. But again, that's a feature I can live without. And that autopilot boat is $3,700 with no battery at all. I bought this kayak, built it, and have had it out on the water for $2,650. And that includes a 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. Now that is a pretty good argument to build it yourself. Just saying. And that's basically why I have gone ahead and built this. Now we are going to do a final walk around. I just wanted to talk about and show off my battery because I'm excited. So I'm going to try and go out fishing tomorrow. Hopefully we're going to catch some fish, and I'll have a little bit more to talk about. All right. Thanks very much for watching. Tight lines. Yak Fisher out.